watching Daybreak on the Deuce.
Well, coming up, the holidays don't have to interrupt your gluten-free diet. The author of the Gluten-Free Almond Flour Cookbook will show us how to create delicious baked goods and help us stick to our diets.
Well, a merry holiday season for many includes a lot of baked goods. All those trimmings, those are fantastic. But if you're on a gluten-free diet, well, it can be a very difficult time of year. Enjoying holiday food can be a little bit more challenging. You need to use some caution, some common sense as well. But today, Elana Amsterdam is the author of the Gluten-Free Almond Flour Cookbook, and she's with us live to talk more about incorporating some of these gluten-free recipes, not only into the holidays, but into a year-round diet and better ways to do so. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Nice to be here.
So for those of us who aren't so educated into the ways of gluten, gluten is normally found in what?
Gluten is a protein found in wheat, rye, and barley, and it's what makes your bread elastic and hold together. I use almond flour instead of wheat flour. Gluten is found in wheat flour, and almond flour is so rich and buttery that you get quick and easy baked goods without having to have that rising time and without having to have the gluten that is toxic for people who have something called celiac disease.
Well, let's go ahead and start cooking, and we can talk about it as we go. But we're making your recipe for salmon dill burgers.
We are.
So salmon obviously is one great source of many nutrients, right?
Oh yeah, salmon is a superfood. Then we're going to add almond flour, which is also a superfood. Okay. So these are getting really high protein, and then we put in 2 eggs, which makes them even more high protein.
It's protein-licious at this point.
It's protein-licious, exactly.
So then, more and more people, it seems like, as you continue to mix here, we're diagnosing more and more people with celiac disease. We don't think that celiac disease is more prevalent. It's just that we're finding it more often.
Yes, there's more awareness in the medical community, and gastroenterologists are getting better at diagnosing celiac disease, though it's still difficult for people to get a diagnosis sometimes these days.
I messed up on the list. Again, the cookbook is called the Gluten-Free Almond Flour Cookbook, and you'll be able to find it in bookstores. We added the dill component and some salt and pepper, or just salt?
Yeah, you're good. Some salt. And some people don't like the taste of salmon. To some people, it has a fishy taste, so adding all that lemon zest and dill just makes the flavor pop without getting too much of a salmon-y taste.
One of the reasons it has that fishy taste is it's a fish.
It is a fish, but my children don't like the taste of fish, so
but that's how
we try to disguise it.
It's fish, after all. You were talking a little bit about some people, the people with celiac disease, need to go gluten-free.
Yes.
Some people choose a gluten-free diet.
Yes, some people are what's called gluten intolerant. My younger son is gluten intolerant. He gets a little bit of a tummy ache and kind of a nasty mood when he eats too much gluten. So we keep him off gluten as best we can. Myself and my other son have celiac disease. Right. So for us, gluten is a poison, and we never eat gluten.
Now, this is tough. We talked about this in the holidays. You know, you I know, experimented with having to cook 2 separate meals very often, for one with gluten and one without. And now your concept here, in many ways, is to find recipes that are good for people either way.
That's exactly the concept. It's just one food that's good enough for everyone. And I like to have people come over to my house. I don't tell them it's gluten-free, and they'll walk out not knowing that they ate something gluten-free, because it tastes the same as items that do contain gluten. But it's much better for you.
All right, finishing up the recipe of the salmon dill burgers, we put them in what kind of oil here?
I just put a dash of grapeseed oil in the pan, and it's just starting to sizzle, and these are going to cook up, and they're going to end up being those nice little salmon dill burger patties.
Those are fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you've also made some muesli bread with goat cheese as well, so you have a nice holiday sampler there.
Yeah.
Well, Elana, thanks so much for coming by, showing us a couple of the recipes from, again, the Gluten-Free Almond Flour Cookbook. Again, it's by Elana Amsterdam, and it's now available in bookstores. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks, Tom.
Good to see you today.
Yeah.